Most people believe the entry ticket to the world of old money is a $50,000 watch or a specific brand of suit. But the truth is, your status is often decided long before you even fix your collar. In elite circles, they don't ask about your bank balance. Instead, they use quiet tests, subtle psychological traps that instantly reveal whether you belong or if you're just desperately trying to fit in. Today, we are breaking down the 3 levels of these invisible tests. And pay attention, because the final level, the emotional stability test, is where even the most successful entrepreneurs often fail. Why are the ultra-wealthy so obsessed with vetting? It's simple. For them, the safety and predictability of their inner circle are more valuable than new connections. They don't need to know how much money you have. They need to know how you handle it and how emotionally stable you are. They are looking for the sense of belonging. This is when you don't feel the need to prove you have a right to be there. Let's move to the first and most uncomfortable test. Imagine this. You are in a car or sitting at a table after a meal. The conversation naturally dies down. 5 seconds pass. 10 seconds. 15. What do? Someone who feels out of place experiences silence as pressure. Their brain screams, "Do something, entertain them, prove you're interesting." And so they start rambling, asking shallow questions, or worse, trying too hard to be funny. Example, the wrong way. Actor, looking nervous. So, did you see the latest news about the tech sector? I was reading yesterday that the right way. Actor calmly sips their drink, looks out the window, nods slightly to their own thoughts, perfectly at ease with the quiet. In the world of the elite, silence is a luxury. If you can be comfortably silent next to a powerful person, you are broadcasting. I don't need your validation. I am self-sufficient. This is the pinnacle of 67 old money habits. The second test masks itself as simple politeness. You are asked a completely neutral, open-ended question. Something like, "What have you been up to lately?" Or, "What's new with you?" This is a trap. A striver, someone who wants to seem important, uses this question as a stage for a sales pitch. They'll list their achievements, drop names of influential friends, or mention brands. Comparison. The question, "What have you been up to lately?" The striver's answer, "Oh, it's been pretty intense, actually. We just got back from Aspen, stayed at a place near the slopes, flew private through Denver. I actually ran into Daniel Carter there. He's in private equity, you probably know him. Right now we're closing a deal in the tech infrastructure space, somewhere in the 8 to 10 million range. So it's been non-stop calls and meetings lately." The elite answer, "Honestly, not much that sounds impressive. I finally finished that biography on Winston Churchill I'd been putting off for months, and I spent a few quiet days with family at our place upstate in Hudson Valley. Just slowed things down a bit, which I needed." The point of the test is not what you say. It's whether you feel the need to sell yourself while saying it. People with real status don't optimize their life for presentation. They don't upgrade their stories for approval, because they're not trying to prove they belong anywhere. And that's the difference. The ultra-rich don't highlight who they are in conversation. They assume it. And the highest signal of status isn't complexity. It's simplicity without effort. If you don't feel the need to flex in response to a neutral question, you've already passed the second gate. The third test is the hardest. It's not about what you know. It's about how you react when your certainty is gently disturbed, when your idea is not fully accepted, when your opinion is lightly challenged. A companion might shift the conversation slightly and say something like, "Don't you think that strategy is a bit outdated?" And in that moment, something very subtle happens. People with fragile egos react immediately. They don't even notice it happening. Their body tightens. Their tone changes. They start explaining themselves faster than before. They defend their position. Sometimes they add extra details. Sometimes they use sarcasm to regain control of the room. But what they don't realize is this: they are no longer discussing the idea. They are defending their identity. And that's the signal. This is often associated with what people call new wealth behavior, where status is still being protected, still being proven, still being argued for. But the psychology at the elite level is completely different. They don't experience disagreement as a threat. They don't rush to correct it. They don't emotionally attach themselves to being right in the moment. Instead, they pause. They listen. Sometimes they even smile slightly. Not because they agree, but because they are not disturbed by the disagreement itself. And that is the key difference, because when your value is not dependent on external validation, you don't need to defend it in real time. You simply remain steady, unmoved, present. This is what we call unshakability. Did you notice the common thread running through all three tests? They are not really about behavior. They are not about intelligence. And they are not about wealth. They all measure one thing: the absence of need, the need for approval, the need to fill silence, the need to prove superiority. Because in elite environments, need is visible, even when nothing is being said. True elite status is not defined by what you own, not by what is in your garage, not by what you can afford to show. It is defined by something far more subtle: how complete you are when nothing external is validating you, how stable you remain when there is no audience, how natural you feel when nothing is being asked of you. That is what it means to belong to yourself. And most people never develop that state. They perform, they fill gaps, they manage perception. But belonging does not require performance. It is silent. If you want to develop this mindset, start small. Next time there is a pause in a conversation, don't rush to fill it. Don't correct it. Don't escape it. Just let it exist. And notice what happens inside you. Which of these tests do you find the most difficult? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one. And if you want to go deeper into elite psychology and the silent luxury lifestyle, make sure to subscribe. We break down the rules of the game you won't find in textbooks. I'll see you in the next one.